So, the art of letting go. I just had this conversation yesterday with a couple of my kids, and it's like if you think about forgiveness, if you think about holding grudges, how ridiculous that is. Any of us, and I've done it. We're all guilty of it as human beings, But if you think about holding on to a grudge, what is a grudge? A grudge is a concept. So let's say something bad happens to you. Let's put an X on a paper and say, boom, there's a moment in time that something happens. At that particular moment, it happened at that instant, at that time. And that's it. And that event is over. It's no longer here. It's gone. It's like the wake behind a ship. It's gone and over. So why do we hold on to it? We're only holding on to it psychologically. And yes, it may have pain involved, and it may be very frustrating to hold on to some of that pain, but don't. I think that's the key here in forgiveness, is letting go and truly forgiving, because you're not only forgiving the other person, but you're forgiving yourself. And think about how silly and how inefficient and impractical it is to hold on to a grudge or a negative feeling. It's very unhealthy. It's just completely impractical. Think about it. Think about anything you hold a grudge for and how silly it is to hold on to it. It's like a lead weight holding you back from enjoying your best life ever. So try to let go. Try to think of these grudges. Just let them go. Let them float out like helium balloons. And then give it some thought. Write down maybe some of the grudges. One of the funnest exercises I ever remember doing. This is many years ago, but I'd write down a problem on a piece of paper, and you could do the same thing with a grudge, where you write it down on a piece of paper, and you safely go somewhere and you burn it. And it's like, wow, look at that. My problem is on a piece of paper, and I burned it away. It's gone that quick. It's gone that simple. Just think about the concept of a problem or a grudge. Let's specifically focus in for a second on a grudge. Let's say you hate, and it's a very strong word. I don't like it, but it exists. But hate. You hate somebody for something they did to you. Okay, and even something horrible. Let's think of something really horrible that may not have happened to you. So let's imagine it was somebody else. Now, I'm not diminishing the fact that some people may cause pain and harm. Here's the secret, here's the tip, is that if somebody in a current situation, remember that you always have a current situation. You always have the current now. That's all you ever have is now, the current moment. And somebody does something that creates harm to you or others, okay? And we learn from that. We should grow from that. We should learn from that. And sometimes there are pains that happen that are very, 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 very sad, very, very frustrating, and very, very painful. And I'm not diminishing that, because that needs to be dealt with. You need to grieve properly. You need to seek help, talk to counselors, or whatever you need to do to help yourself through that situation. Because just like getting a cut or a wound, it hurts for a while, right? And that takes time to heal sometimes. But don't prolong the healing. Instead, work on letting go, letting go, letting go. And that's the key. That's the key, right? Because what you want to do is say, oh, okay, that event happened. It was very, very painful. I didn't like it. And I'm never going to let that happen again. Or I'm going to try my darndest to never let that happen again, and work on strategies on how to do that. Instantly, snap decision. I am not going to let that happen anymore. Okay? And you're just going to commit to that. From now on, you're going to commit to that. You're going to put your energy, your chi energy, you're going to put into solving that problem instead of resentment. Because think about resentment is like you're holding on to a sharp blade or a hot item, a hot piece of coal. Think about that. It's like an old saying where you pick up a hot piece of coal and you burn your hand. You're actually hurting yourself, not somebody else. So be careful with that. So you have to be careful with grudges. You have to be careful what you hold on to and why you're holding on to it, and let it go. Just let it go. I think of silly grudges too, especially silly grudges. I hate him or I hate her because she said, I'm a jerk or whatever. So many stupid grudges that people hold. They really are stupid grudges. And I bet you there's a lot of you listening that have grudges that are just completely ridiculous, completely worthless. And that may also go in the same bin, the same container as judgments or accusations or hatred of some kind. Let's think of some type of people you don't like. Think about how stupid that is to hold those types of grudges, that type of disdain or disregard or hatred or judgment or whatever it is. What a waste of life. What a waste of time. Think about all the magical things you could do with your life, all the incredible things you could do with your life if you learn to let go. If you put down these grudges or these things that you hold against people. You don't even have to have a painful incident. I know a lot of people that are just harsh, judgmental, critical people. They hate the Democrats, they hate the Republicans, or they hate the Green New Deal. They hate this race of people or that race of people or whatever. Just what a waste. Considering the incredible magic you have, the power you have inside of you to be creative, to be imaginative, to be loving, to be kind, to be caring, you have all these superpowers available to you. So why waste it? Why waste it on nonsense, on garbage? Why pick up garbage and hold garbage? Think about a grudge, a stupid grudge. Let's say it like this. If you get a piece of paper today and you write down, just free write all the things that bother you, okay? Just write them down. Just say, what bothers me? Get a pen and a paper and boom, 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 boom. Write them down. And then re-examine that list. And look at the things that are stupid considered. Come on. If you were looking at this as God were looking upon this sheet itself and giving you guidance and saying, let me look at this list. How many of these things are really stupid, waste of time, waste of energy, impractical, completely impractical, waste of resources? Cross them off. Do it quickly too. Cross them off, cross them off, cross them off. And you'll see how stupid they are, how time consuming they are, and how much energy they waste. And then there might be a few things on there that I can't quite cross these off, because it might be something that you need to work on, something that you haven't addressed yet. So then you want to look closely at that and decide, okay, how can I address this? What can be done to address this quickly and assertively so that it won't happen again, or address it with the person to close the issue, to close the deal? Do that practice today. Create yourself a list. Write it down and examine your list of grudges. And remember what I said about holding grudges. What you're really holding on to is actually non-existent. If I were a doctor and I were to cut open your body somewhere and find this grudge, where is it? Tell me where the grudge is. Where does it exist? Well, you might say it's in your brain. Well, where? Where in your brain? I could cut out some of your brain is like a beautiful piece of machinery that transmits signals and such. And, we could cut out a part of it that allows you to not pick up the signal, but that's not fixing the problem. I'm talking about the actual physical element of a grudge. It doesn't exist. It's all fictitious. It's all mind memory stuff. It's all just memory energy. And that's what we're holding on to. A stupid thing like that gets us unhealthy and knotted up and tense and freaked out and stressed out. And, we get body aches and pains. That's the infamous pain body, that we hold on to stuff, because where else is it going to go? This negative energy, it's going to show up in our bones and our bodies. So we got to learn to let that go. We got to let it go quickly, because you're wasting time. You're wasting valuable time. Instead, I want you to shift over to things that mean something to you. Things in life that just mean something to you, that bring you joy, that bring you happiness. Instead, turn the grudge into forgiveness, into love. Instead, say, you know what? I forgive that person, because I don't know what it was like being in their shoes. They did what they did because they knew that's all they knew what to do, and I feel bad about that, right? And if it's somebody that really hurts you or continue to hurt you, and you decide you don't want that type of person in your life anymore, fine, let it go, but forgive them anyway. It's just a single choice to say, I prefer not to have these people in my life. But I'll tell you this, if you let go grudges with some of the people in your life, you're going to learn to love them more, and you're going to deepen your relationship with love. And by the way, that also includes yourself. Sometimes we hold grudges with ourselves, and that's what I'm also talking about, is letting that go. Things that you've done in the past that you might not be so proud of, let them go. Be done with it. But truly be done with it, because a decision happens in a split second, and you're done. You are done. You used to drink, you used to smoke, you used to be abusive, you used to be angry, you used to be, whatever it is you've done. Let it go. It's in the past. It's in the wake of the ship. It's behind you. Gone. Done. Finished. Finito. All it is now is just a figment of your imagination in your head. So you can train your brain, create new neurological strands to let it go. Stop wasting life and wasting valuable, precious energy on things that don't matter anymore. Grow, learn, start to enjoy your life. That's all I got. But do that exercise. Try the list. Create the list of grudges and, see if you can cross off the ones very quickly that don't have any value and address the ones that do, and do it appropriately. If there's something traumatic that happened in your life, seek help. Seek help today. Get the help you need and resolve it quickly. Don't spend years on it. You're capable of getting up and brushing yourself off with the right people in your life. Attract the right people in your life. Ask for the right help. Get a good, solid mentor and become the best person you can this year. Be the best version of yourself. And that begins today by letting go of silly grudges.